Well, the rebellion has started, that's for sure. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my college dorm room. Now today I'm going to be talking about The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. Just like every trilogy and book series that is coming out nowadays, this film is split into two different films. We have Mockingjay Part 1 this year, and we have Mockingjay Part 2 next year. So that is the way of the land right now, and this is my review of Part 1. So obviously the main role and main character in this film is Jennifer Lawrence as Katniss Everdeen. She again does a phenomenal job in the role. We see a Katniss who is very broken and shaken up by the events which have occurred in Catching Fire. We see her immediately in the confines of District 13, where she has to learn how to be the Mockingjay and essentially become the symbol of hope for all Pen M. And Jennifer Lawrence, again, like I said, knocks the role out of the park. She is a fantastic actress now, and she just does everything that we need her to do, and it works really well. Josh Hutcherson is also in the movie. He's not in it a lot, but the parts of him that we do see in the film, he does fine on, especially towards the end of the film, where he just shows his acting capabilities really, really well with a certain scene, and I really enjoyed seeing that part of him. He's going to have a slightly bigger role in the finale film, so there's that. Liam Hemsworth is also in this film as Gale. He is Katniss's childhood friend, and he is now part of the rebellion alongside of her, and we get to see a lot more of Gale than we usually do in these Hunger Games films. He is, like I said, he's part of the rebellion. He is basically the one who is taking the role of Peeta in this film, because he is the one consistently by her side and fighting alongside of her and doing kind of the sidekick-esque stuff. Liam Hemsworth does a good job as well in the role. He hasn't really done a lot with the role thus far because we don't really see him a whole lot, but he does good with him. And then Woody Harrelson, he is also in this film. He has not seen a whole lot, but he still has the inspiration of the mentor to Katniss, and he is still kind of fulfilling that role in this film. And Woody Harrelson does a really good job reprising his role as this character, and he does it really well. And we have a bunch of other actors and actresses who are really good in this film, but their roles aren't as important per se, or they at least are not the focus of the film. And so I'm going to kind of go through those really quick because I don't want to make this a 20-minute review. So firstly, we have Donald Sutherland as President Snow. He comes back. He again doesn't really have a whole lot of stuff to do in this film as per usual, but the stuff he does have is really well done. He steals his scenes, and he's just a really cool character and a really good actor. Julianne Moore plays President Coin. She is the leader of the rebellion, and she does a fantastic job in her role. She is introduced in this movie and does a really nice job reprising the role, which is solidified in the book, and I enjoyed seeing her on screen. I look forward to seeing more of what she is going to do in Part 2 of this movie. Elizabeth Banks is also in this film as Elfie Trinket, and she does a very nice job as well. It's very cool to see her without her makeup and acting in this character, and she just does as much as she possibly can to continue the look of her character without the limited resources of the capital. So she does a really nice job as well. And then lastly, we have Philip Seymour Hoffman. Once again, this is one of the last films that he was able to act in, and he does a very nice job in the scenes that he is in. It's really nice to see him on screen and see him put a lot of good effort into this role, which he may not have needed to take it seriously as some of his other ones. So, props to you, good sir. Well, there's not really a lot of it. The film does a really nice job with its one solo action scene in this film, because there is only one action scene in this movie, and it is done really excitingly. We kind of have a sense of the Hunger Games back in this type of scene, because there's fire going around, there's bombers happening, and it's basically the scene from the trailer. And that's one thing that I really liked about this movie, is that a lot of the scenes from the main trailer were seen in the first hour of this movie, and then the rest of it was kind of left blind for the audience, and I really liked seeing that, and I like it when movies do those types of things, because it doesn't just reveal the whole movie in one 2-minute trailer. So in that one action scene, there were a few moments of shaky cam in the film, which I didn't really enjoy seeing. It kind of took me out of the experience a little bit, but I mean, it was only for maybe a second or two, and then it got back to the smoothness of the film. So that was just one little thing that I picked up on and noticed as it was happening. Pacing in this movie is good for the most part. It is slow a little bit, just here or there, but for the most part, the movie, it progresses the plot very quickly. This is one of the slower books, surprisingly, in the trilogy, so it makes sense that this first half is going to be kind of slower paced, and then the finale is going to be much more action paced. So just know that going into this film, it does do the pacing pretty well. It's only about 2 hours long, maybe a little bit less, but it does it really nicely and progresses the movie very well for the most part. It also stays very true to the book for the most part overall, which, as far as I could tell, was good, because it's been a while since I've read Mockingjay, so I can't remember exactly everything which happened, but as far as I could tell, they did stay fairly true to the original text, and something which Catching Fire did fantastic on is one of the reasons that I gave it my top score for 2013. This one, as far as I could tell, did the same. The use of music in this movie is also really cool. They use it in the action scenes really well. They use it in the emotional scenes really well. I don't remember who the composer is, but the good sir who did the score did it fantastically, and so that is another thing which I really enjoyed seeing in this film. And then lastly, the ending. I'm not going to talk about it, but the ending does set up the final movie in a very nice fashion. Obviously, I'm not going to say what happens in it because that's spoilers, but it does do a really nice job to get me amped up for the finale in this 4-part film saga, and I wanted the film to keep going. I want to see the finale right now, and I don't like that I have to wait a year to see it. That being said, it does, because of that, feel like half a film. It's kind of the same thing which happened to me with the final Harry Potter movies with 7 and 8, with splitting the last book in half. We see half the movie now, and half of it later, and I want to see the whole shebang right from the get-go. Overall, those are my thoughts on Mockingjay Part 1. I very much enjoyed it for the most part. I thought that the pacing worked well despite the kind of lack of excitement in the plot, and as a whole, I thought it was a very well-made movie, really fun movie, and got me amped up for the finale next year. So those are my thoughts. Leave yours in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them. Let me know if you liked Mockingjay as much as I did. Did you despise it more than I did? Let me know down in the comments down below. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Once again, if you so choose, I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, my good people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on watching.